Welcome. My name is Allison Gladfelter. I am a professor in the Speech Language Pathology Department, and I serve as co-director for CISLL. We are thrilled to have you today for our winter workshop. Quite the agenda, an ambitious plan, but I think we'll enjoy everything we have today. So we're going to start with OpenPose by Ziteng, then we'll move on to iLink and EEG with Jay Jin. We'll learn more about NIU's Podcast Studio and One Button Studio with Kanjana, Cloud Research with Julia, RedCap with Lindsay, and then we'll wrap up with some other equipment and resource offerings that CISLL has coming up. I'll quickly talk a little bit about CISLL. We are an interdisciplinary language and literacy research center here at NIU. To show how interdisciplinary we are, we have representation across a variety of different colleges and programs. So I'm thrilled to co-direct with Dr. Lindsay Harris, who is in the Ed Psych program. We have Julia Ogg in Psych, Mandy Ferreira-Sutenberg in World Languages, Melissa Klukas-Walter in the College of Health and Human Sciences, and we are supported by two grad assistants, Megan Andrzejewski and Henry Thomaser. So we appreciate everyone's support. We have 3 special interest groups. The goal is to present programming that spans across all of these interests. We also have some upcoming events, so if you would like to join us for any of our virtual writing retreats, basically you log in, everyone says what their writing goal is for the hour, and then we turn off our cameras and microphones and we just write for that hour and then encourage and support each other. We have our spring show and share coming up on March 20th, another series of writing retreats, and then we're really excited for our Literacy on the Lawn event. This is where we bring children's books and resources to the community. So if you are interested in donating any new or gently used children's books, we would love to accept them. Just reach out, let us know if you want us to come pick them up, or you can bring them to our Spring Show and Share event and we will collect them then. And then we'll distribute them to the kids at the Child Care Center. May 2nd, we have our annual retreat. I would like to welcome Dr. Ziteng Wang.
So this is my presentation, and today I'm going to share this technology called OpenPose and how I use that in my research and how potentially it can help you with your research. I'm a professor with the Industrial and Systems Engineering departments in the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology. And a lot of part of this work I'm going to presenting is collaboration between me and my students, John, Mahesh, and Michael, as well as faculty members, including Dr. Tina Ono of Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, as well as Alison Emiliana of Health and Human Sciences. A little bit about myself. I was trained as a mathematician, but I changed my mind to pursue industrial and systems engineering, more specifically in operations research. I'll talk what that means later in a second. I spent a year in industry doing some routing optimization for FedEx Express before I joined NIU in 2016. A lot of my research is centered around the keyword of operations research, which is the discipline that uses mathematical modeling and mathematical methods to optimize decision making, to suggest any actionable insights from data that how we can make better decisions for individuals, for organization, for a system, for processes, so on and so forth. So I do some work in supply chains, do some work in mathematical optimization, do some work in AI and machine learning and its applications. I'm using AI models to advance healthcare outcomes. But before that, there's an ad you cannot skip. That's the price you pay for listening to me. This Saturday, I'm going to be presenting this work as well in Husky's Track Talks. That's an annual event held by NIU Foundation that showcase NIU research in a TED Talk-like format. I happen to be the speaker or the person on the page, but it's really a group work. I want to show you 2 videos. So on the left-hand side, it's a child walking back and forth, as you can see. On the right-hand side is what we call the skeleton model of the same person. And OpenPose does exactly this. OpenPose helps computer to recognize a person in a video. And more than that, it recognizes the body parts or so-called key points of the human body so that the computer can learn how many people are in a video and what exactly are they doing and how are they moving. So from 2D video on the left-hand side, we can extract this skeleton model, and therefore we can numerically describe the walking gait of a person, in this case, a child. And then from there, we can compute, for example, the coordinates and positions of some key points of the human body, for example, the knees, the elbow, the hands, the hip, a foot, neck, nose, so on and so forth. And we know the coordinates of these key points at every frame of this video. And therefore, we know how these coordinates are changing and how the key points are relatively changing, for example, the angles and the positions of different parts of the human body. And therefore, we can compute and extract some gait parameters, including some of the angles I'm showing on the very right of the slide. For example, knee, adduction, abduction, and the hip, abduction and adduction, and knee extension, flexion, so on and so forth. Those are the angles that are changing when you walk in terms of the lower body. And we can, of course, incorporate the gait parameters of the upper body, for example, how the arms are moving, how the hands are moving, if the person is walking in a symmetric or asymmetric fashion, so on and so forth. So we have those numerical gait parameters, and we can feed those to an AI model or machine learning model to make the prediction in terms of whether the child's walking gait is closer to that of autistic children versus non-autistic children. And we use that result as the screening result. And I must say, screening is not equal to diagnosis. Screening could be accurate, it could be inaccurate, and it offers insights to the parents or caregivers of the child that you might want to talk to your doctor, you might want to seek professional appointment, and so on and so forth. And all of this were made possible by the very first step, because we need to understand how a person walks numerically from videos taken by phone or tablet or the camera. And that's what OpenPose is for. And OpenPose is a so-called computer vision model. It's a series of technology that help computer to recognize what's happening in a video. Okay? As humans, we can easily see and understand a video, but for computers, there must be methods that enable that. And moreover, there is a particular problem in computer vision called pose estimation. That is about to detect people in a video and what their poses are and how they're moving in the video. This technology is a series of libraries or software packages developed by a team at Carnegie Mellon University. I think the first version was released in 2017, and there were updates and maintenance afterwards. OpenPose is completely open source for non-commercial use. For commercial use, they charge a fee. I believe it's $25,000. But for research, educational purposes, it's completely free. And that's why we can use that in our research. And it takes inputs like image, video, or even real-time camera stream. If you walk past by, you can see yourself in the camera and how your skeleton is detected by OpenPose. The capabilities of this software includes detect human body, and foot and hand, and some certain facial key points. If you zoom in to the hand or face of the person, it offers additional data points. It offers multi-person detection. No matter how many people are there in the video, it can detect them. And even 3D single-person tracking and detection with multiple cameras, thinking about surveillance or CCTV applications. It can do this in real time. I'm showing some examples. These are two of the developers of OpenPose. They were, I think, students at CMU at the time. And then you have some dancing videos, hand, some additional key points of the hand, like fingers and joint points. And on the right-hand side, there are, group exercise and sport applications. I'm listing additional applications, especially in healthcare or related to humans. For example, fall detection and prevention. If you can detect where the person is and where their body parts are, you can easily detect how their heads or hands are suddenly moving in the video, and therefore you can infer this person falls, for example. And additional applications like physical therapy, rehabilitation, sports performance, you understand the pose. For example, yoga exercise, or you're doing some weight training. You want to know if your pose is correct. This offers some numerical insights. And telehealth and remote patient monitoring purposes and screening of other movement disorders in addition to autism. How can we use this, right? We can use this if we have fairly good hardware, for example, CPU and ideally GPU, because of the computational load that this requires. Of course, you need camera. Luckily, they offer a lightweight version. You can quickly install for demo purposes. That's what I'm doing right there in my laptop. But for complete version, a complete install, there is a little bit learning curve that requires understanding of CISLL+, all those dependencies, environment, and how to make them work all together. But there's an easy way to do this because we have already set it up on campus using our NIU Center for Research Computing and Data, their Metis server. We've installed OpenPose. That's super fast, running on CRCDs, GPUs. And my students, John and Michael, did an excellent job setting up this for all of us to use, not only our research group. And that's part of the reason why I'm here today, because I want to let you know that this is available. There's no need of installing all those complex environments and dependencies. Just let me know, and I can quickly run a video for you. To conclude this very quick introduction, OpenPose is a technology that can analyze human pose and movement from videos taken from any device. And hopefully this can power your research. We have on-campus solution and service at high speed and no cost. How nice is that, right? So if you're interested, just Google my name or Google OpenPose to teach yourself a little bit, and I'm happy to help in any way I can. Thank you so much. So there's literature and study that shows evidence that there are gauge differences between autistic children and non-autistic children. So we want to utilize that to detect if a child may or may not have autism as a screening tool. As an alternative to like existing ways, for example, like appointments, observing the child, interviewing with the parents, and so on and so forth. That's a complex process. But as an initial step, a quick pre-screening is very valuable. We have a website called iGateApp.com. A user, in this case, a parent or caregiver of the child, can upload a video like this that they can take at home or any open space of their child walking for like 1 minute or two, and then upload to this website. And in the back end, we first run OpenPose to analyze the video, to get the video on the right-hand side, in addition to the key points and those angles and the walking speed, stride length, so on and so forth, of those what we call the gait parameters of this child. And then we have a pre-trained machine learning model with a cohort of children. We know if they are autistic or not. And therefore, we can teach the AI model to learn from their gait differences, gait parameters, like what the difference between the two groups are. And once a new user comes, the AI model can detect if the new video belongs to the group 1 or group 2, in this case, autistic or not. So that's how this research workflow is. If we focus on the entire body of the person, the software detects like up to 25 points, major key points of the human body. However, if we want to focus on the face or hand, this software offers additional sets of key points, like up to 40, I remember 40-ish on the face or 40-ish on the hand. Here, the software is drawing the profile of the face, and if you can zoom in, then the software detects ear, nose, lip, and eye, so on and so forth. And for the hand, it can locate these key points, like every finger on the hand and the joints on the fingers. I think that offers additional insight for particular like sign language purposes. So the grain, I think, is there. And for foot, I think it does the same thing, like a small toe, bigger toe, heel, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so in total, they're claiming 135 key points. Not necessarily at the same time, but the total number is 135. I must say there are alternatives to OpenPose. It is not the only pose estimation software that's out there. There is AlphaPose or Deep Lab Cuts, MediaPipe. Some of them are developed by like Google and other teams internationally. I know there's a Chinese team that develops one of the leading software for pose estimation, but OpenPose is one of the best ones.